You want to change your life? Then you've got to stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the results to show up before you show up. Most people think they need success before they can feel successful, but it's the other way around. You need to feel it, embody it, live it as if it's already yours. You got to shift your identity, your energy, your posture, your presence. Because when you act like the person who's already achieved it, when you make decisions from that place of, you begin to attract the life that matches that version of you. It's not faith, it's faith. It's not pretending, it's preparing. And the moment you decide to live from that future version of you, your current reality starts to bend in your favor. That's how transformation begins. Most people think success begins with action. They believe that if they just do more, hustle harder, or follow the perfect strategy, they'll eventually arrive at the life they dream of. But the truth is, action is not the first step. Identity is. The real transformation doesn't start when your circumstances change. It starts when you change. When you shift who you believe you are at the deepest level, your behavior naturally begins to follow. That's the secret. That's where breakthrough lives. You have to learn to act as if you've already achieved it, because that act isn't just performance. It's the most powerful way to rewire your identity. When you were a child, you didn't second guess who you were. If someone asked you who you wanted to be, you'd say it boldly. I'm a superhero. I'm a champion. I'm a leader. You didn't need proof. You felt it. You believed it. And that belief allowed you to show up in the world with limitless energy and courage. Somewhere along the way, life taught you to only believe what you could see. But the most powerful creators in this world know the opposite is true. You don't wait to see it to believe it. You believe it so deeply that eventually you do see it. That's why identity is everything. You can take a person with the best tools, the best training, and even the best intentions. But if their identity doesn't align with success, none of it will stick. They'll sabotage themselves, procrastinate, shrink back when things get hard, because deep down, they don't believe they deserve it. They haven't become the kind of person who owns that result. It's not in alignment with who they think they are. Think about it. A smoker can try to quit 1,000 times, but if their identity is, I'm a smoker trying to quit, they will always return to the habit. But if they shift to, I'm not a smoker, that's not who I am, their actions change because your self-majority has changed. And once your self-majority transforms, your habits follow. Your standards rise, your tolerance for mediocrity disappears, you start walking, talking, moving, and deciding like someone who's already living their dream. And guess what? The world starts to respond to that energy. When you learn to act as if you've already achieved it, you start aligning your behavior with your future, not your past. You stop making decisions from fear, lack, or insecurity and start acting from confidence, abundance, and purpose. That shift creates momentum. And momentum is everything. It's the force that breaks through resistance, that gets you out of your own head, that keeps you moving when things get tough. But you can't wait until you feel ready. You can't wait until you have the money, the status, or the external validation. If you wait, you'll be stuck in the same loop for years. You'll be living on the edge of potential, but never claiming it. You have to decide who you are going to be and then begin acting like that version of yourself right now. Even if the bank account doesn't reflect it, even if no one else sees it, even if the mirror doesn't fully convince you yet. Because the truth is, identity is a choice. It's not something you inherit. It's not defined by your past. You can choose a new identity the moment you decide you're done settling for less. And that choice carries power. When you say, I am the kind of person who finishes what I start, I am the kind of person who creates massive impact, I am the kind of person who shows up with discipline, courage, and focus, then you've already won the inner game. The outside world just hasn't caught up yet. Now, does that mean you lie to yourself? No. You're not faking anything. You're waking up the real you, the version of you that was always there, buried beneath fear, doubt, and conditioning. Acting as if isn't about pretending. It's about aligning with your truth before the world validates it. And once you start living from that place, once you begin taking actions consistent with that identity, you become unstoppable. Let this sink in. Your results will always match your identity. If you want different results, don't just change your habits. Change the person those habits are tied to. Upgrade your self-image. Rewrite the story of who you are, act from the reality you're committed to creating, not the one you're currently living in. The person you become determines what you do, and what you do consistently determines your destiny. So start now. Don't wait. Ask yourself, if I already had the life I want, how would I show up today? How would I walk into that room? How would I speak? How would I make decisions? Then do that over and over again until your current life starts to look a whole lot like the one you imagined. You don't need the world's permission to become who you already are inside. You just need the courage to step into it. Right here, right now. Emotion is the fuel of achievement. It's not logic that gets you out of bed early in the morning. It's not reason that pushes you to keep going when things get tough. It's emotion, the raw, undeniable force inside of you that drives motion. And when you want to act as if you've already achieved your dream, you must first learn how to tap into the emotional state of that future version of yourself. Because when you feel like it's real, your actions begin to reflect that certainty. And the world doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to how you feel about what you believe you already have. So many people walk through life emotionally bankrupt. They say they want success, but they're emotionally connected to fear, doubt, and hesitation. They wait to feel excited. They wait to feel motivated. But if you wait for those emotions to come, you'll be waiting forever. High performers, game changers, people who transform their lives in the world, they generate emotion. They don't depend on it. They decide what they're going to feel, and they condition themselves to feel it consistently. That's why visualization alone isn't enough. You can picture your dream life all day, but if there's no emotion behind that vision, it's just mental noise. It won't move you. It won't shift your energy. Emotion is the bridge between imagination and reality. When you visualize your future and you feel it with intensity, now you've got something powerful. That's when your nervous system lights up. That's when your brain begins to wire in a new identity. That's when your subconscious mind starts believing, this is who I am now. Think about a time when you felt unstoppable. Maybe it was a win, a breakthrough, a moment when you surprised yourself. What created that momentum? It wasn't just the circumstances, it was the emotional state you were in. Maybe you felt gratitude, power, courage, or even desperation. But that emotion created movement, and that movement created progress. The more you can access those emotional states on command, the more unstoppable you become. Now, here's the secret. You don't need results to feel powerful. You don't need someone to validate you before you feel worthy. You can condition yourself to step into any emotional state, regardless of your circumstances. And that's where true personal power lives. That's where the act as if principle becomes real. Because once you emotionally live in your desired outcome, your body, your language, your decisions, everything begins to align with that future. Emotion tells your brain what's important. If you say, I want to be a millionaire, but your emotional state is filled with scarcity and worry, your mind will focus on problems, not possibilities. But if you say the same thing with certainty, with energy, with gratitude, as if it's already done, your mind begins scanning the world for opportunities that align with that belief. Your emotional intensity sets the filter. That's how manifestation begins. Not with wishful thinking, but with powerful emotional alignment. You have to learn how to cultivate emotions that serve your vision. If you want to live a bold life, you need to feel bold now. If you want to lead, you need to feel like a leader now. If you want to be loved, you need to feel lovable now. Because how you feel determines how you act, and how you act determines what you attract. This is why so many people stay stuck. They keep trying to act their way into success while feeling completely disconnected from it emotionally. But emotion is the trigger. When you feel like it's already yours, your behaviors stop looking like effort and start becoming expressions of your identity. This is why gratitude is so powerful. Gratitude isn't just about being thankful for what you have. It's about emotionally celebrating what you're about to have. It's about feeling thankful for your future in advance. That's a whole new level of alignment. Because when you're grateful, you're not in fear. You're not in doubt. You're not resisting. You're opening. You're aligning. And life responds to that openness with more of what you're ready to receive. Let's be clear. You're not faking anything. This isn't about pretending to be someone you're not. This is about feeling the truth of who you are before the world reflects it back to you. It's about stepping into the emotional frequency of your vision. and letting that energy pull you forward. Because the person who already achieved it, how do they feel? They're certain, they're excited, they're grateful, they're calm, they trust. So if you want to become them, start feeling what they feel. Don't wait for evidence, create it with your emotional state. If you've ever seen someone speak with fire, move with passion, or light up a room with their presence, you've witnessed emotional alignment. They believe in what they're doing, and that belief creates a gravitational force. You can have that too. It's not reserved for the elite. It's available to anyone willing to feel the future before it happens. You just have to commit to conditioning that emotion into your life day after day until it becomes your default. So the next time you wake up, don't ask, what do I need to do today? Ask, how do I need to feel today to become who I'm meant to be? Let your emotions lead your motion. Let your internal fire create your external results. The more you master this, the faster your life will transform. Now, some people might say, but that feels fake. I'm not that person yet. Let's be real. It only feels fake because it's unfamiliar. It's not fake to act confident, focused, or powerful if that's where you're heading. It's preparation. It's alignment. It's called stepping into your future before it arrives. You're not pretending. You're practicing. You're installing the patterns that your future self will use every day. And the more you do it, the more natural it becomes. Confidence stops being something you force. It becomes something you are. This is why I always say motion creates emotion. You can't sit still and expect fire to ignite inside you. You have to move into it. You have to create the space for that energy to flow. Shake off the hesitation. Interrupt the slump. Raise your voice. Clap your hands. Jump if you have to. Whatever it takes to break the old pattern and install the new one, do it. Because your future is shaped not by what you think, but by what you do consistently. And don't underestimate the power of small changes in your physiology. One deeper breath, one straighter posture, one intentional smile. These tiny adjustments begin to rewire your identity. They signal to your brain, this is who we are now. And when that message becomes consistent, the world begins to respond to that new version of you. You are not a prisoner of your past. You are not bound by the old patterns. Your body is your gateway to transformation. Treat it with that level of reverence. Command it with that level of precision. Use it as the tool it was meant to be, to elevate you, to guide you, to awaken you to the power already inside. So from this moment on, every time you catch yourself slumping, shrinking, or hesitating, stop. Reset. Ask yourself, how would the future me move right now? Then do it. Not tomorrow, now. Because when you embody the energy of who you want to become, you don't just act the part, you become it. There's a version of you out there who's already living the life you dream of, the one who's confident, disciplined, focused, successful. That version is not some fantasy. It's not someone else. It's you, minus the excuses, minus the fear, minus the self-doubt. And the bridge between where you are and where you want to be is your decisions. Every single choice you make either brings you closer to that future or pulls you further away. So if you want to act as if you've already achieved your dream, you must start making decisions from that place, not based on where you are, but based on where you're going. Most people live reactively. They make decisions based on their current circumstances, their current bank account, their current energy level, their current limitations. And in doing so, they keep reinforcing the same identity. If you think like someone who's struggling, you'll decide like someone who's struggling, and guess what? You'll keep struggling. But when you make decisions from the mindset of the person who's already succeeded, your behavior shifts, your standards rise, and your reality begins to follow suit. So the question becomes, how would your future self decide? How would they handle this situation? Would they waste time on self-doubt, or would they move with clarity and conviction? Would they hesitate, or would they trust their instincts? Would they say yes to every distraction, or would they protect their focus like their life depends on it? Because it does. Every moment you spend in indecision is a moment stolen from the life you're meant to live. Acting as if doesn't mean faking your way through life. It means leading your life. It means no longer waiting for the perfect moment because you understand that the perfect moment is a myth. Successful people don't wait for confidence to show up. They generate it by taking decisive action. They don't wait for the fear to disappear. They move forward despite it. That's what separates the dreamers from the doers. It's not luck, it's leadership. Self-leadership. You've got to get crystal clear on your future identity and start running every decision through that lens. Before you say yes to something, ask yourself, would the future me, who's already living at the highest level, say yes to this? Before you skip that workout, that meeting, that opportunity, pause and ask, would the future version of me skip this? Or would they show up no matter what? That kind of alignment creates power. You stop acting based on how you feel and start acting based on who you are becoming. Your feelings are real, but they're not always true. Just because you feel tired doesn't mean you're incapable. Just because you feel scared doesn't mean you should stop. Just because you feel uncertain doesn't mean you're not ready. Your future self knows this. That version of you has mastered the art of choosing based on commitment, not comfort. And the more you practice this, the more it becomes your default mode of operation. Think about a high-level performer, elite athlete, a world-class entrepreneur, a leader who commands respect. Do they make emotional, reactive decisions all day? No. They operate from a place of vision, discipline, and standards. They make decisions like everything matters because it does. One small decision today can set off a chain of events that changes your entire trajectory. So stop discounting the moment you're in. Start honoring your decisions like they are seeds being planted in the soil of your future, because they are. You can't fake alignment. You either are or you aren't. And when you are, it shows. There's a certainty that radiates from people who've decided to stop negotiating with their limitations. There's a confidence that comes from knowing your choices are aligned with your highest vision. And that kind of alignment doesn't require external validation. It doesn't need applause or approval. It's quiet, it's powerful, and it's undeniable. But let's be honest, making decisions from your future isn't always comfortable. It often means doing things that stretch you. It means investing when it feels risky. It means saying no when everyone else is saying yes. It means holding yourself to a higher standard even when no one is watching. That's the price of greatness. That's the cost of becoming who you're meant to be. And the payoff, it's exponential. When you start showing up as your future self, life starts opening doors you didn't even know existed. Opportunities begin to align. People begin to treat you differently, not because the world has changed, but because you have. You've stopped waiting and started leading. You've stopped hoping and started choosing. You've stopped living in reaction and started living in creation. You can't control every outcome, but you can control your choices. You can decide right now to start leading your life like it already belongs to the person you're becoming. Make decisions that scare you. Make decisions that challenge you. Make decisions that honor your highest calling, and then watch as your reality starts to catch up with your vision. The future's not some distant place you arrive at. It's a mindset. It's a decision. And it starts with you here today. When you act from that place, when every step you take is aligned with the person you've decided to become, there is no limit to how fast and how powerfully your life can transform. Your environment is either shaping you into your future or holding you hostage to your past. Every single day, you are being influenced by the people you spend time with, the places you go, the sounds you hear, the habits you repeat, the energy you're surrounded by. Whether you're aware of it or not, your environment is conditioning your thoughts, your emotions, your standards. And if you want to act as if you've already achieved your dream, then your environment must reflect that future, not the struggle you're trying to escape. Most people say they want success, but their environment is filled with reminders of mediocrity. They want to grow, but they're constantly surrounded by negativity, excuses, and comfort. They want to rise, but they keep returning to the same places, the same distractions, the same low-energy spaces. You cannot step into a new life while living in the same patterns. Something has to change. And the first thing to evaluate is your environment. Think of your environment as a mirror. It reflects what you expect from yourself. If your room is messy, your workspace chaotic, your phone full of distractions, your calendar unmanaged, what is that environment saying about your identity? Is it saying, I'm in control, I'm focused, I'm becoming more? Or is it quietly whispering, I'm overwhelmed, I'm scattered, I'm settling? You don't need anyone to tell you what kind of life you're building. Your environment already has the answer. When you start acting as if you've already achieved it, you realize quickly that your environment must be curated with intention. That doesn't mean everything has to be perfect, expensive, or impressive. It means everything around you must pull you forward. Your physical space, your digital world, your inner circle, everything must remind you of who you're becoming. You can't afford to keep things in your life that keep you stuck. Look at the people you talk to daily. Are they reinforcing your growth or your fears? Are they challenging you or enabling you? Are they calling you to rise or making you feel comfortable playing small? Because the truth is, you become like the people you spend the most time with. If you're the most driven person in every room, you're in the wrong rooms. You need people around you who speak your future into you, who hold you accountable, who model what's possible, not just talk about it, but live it. And this goes deeper than people. It includes the energy of your home, your habits, your daily routines. If you want to act as if you've already achieved it, then what does your day look like? What time do you wake up? How do you start your mornings? What do you consume mentally, emotionally, physically? If your environment doesn't align with discipline, clarity, and purpose, it's going to drain you, no matter how motivated you feel. Because motivation can spark you, but environment sustains you. Let's say your future self is someone who runs a thriving business, commands attention, lives with purpose and energy. Now, ask yourself, does your current environment look like it belongs to that person? Does your desk inspire focus? Does your phone invite progress or procrastination? Does your schedule reflect what matters, or is it packed with distractions? These are hard questions, but answering them with honesty creates the foundation for change. You don't need to move to a new city or buy a new house to shift your environment. You can start by removing what no longer serves you. Clean up your space, delete what distracts, set boundaries with people who drain you, add more of what energizes you. Books, visuals, sounds, reminders of your future. Create a vision board, set up a playlist that fires you up. Organize your schedule to support action over reaction. Make your environment a partner in your growth. It's not about perfection. It's about alignment. Every time you walk into your space, your environment should say, this is the life I'm building. It should speak to your goals, your identity, your next level. And if something doesn't belong in that vision, let it go. Declutter your life, not just physically, but emotionally, digitally, and socially. Make space for what you want by releasing what you've outgrown. One of the most powerful things you can do is place visual triggers in your environment. Reminders of who you're becoming. It might be a quote on the wall, a picture of someone who inspires you, a post-it on your mirror with the words, I act as if. These subtle signals train your brain to focus on what matters. They guide your decisions. They reconnect you to your vision when life gets chaotic. Over time, those small cues build a powerful internal rhythm. You must also protect your mental environment. Your inner world is shaped by what you allow in. The conversations you listen to, the media you consume, the stories you repeat, these things either fortify your belief or chip away at it. When you act as if there's a powerful truth that separates those who only dream from those who actually do. It's the ability to persist. Not just when things are easy, not just when the motivation is high, but especially when the noise gets loud, when doubts creep in, when results don't come quickly, and when no one's watching. Acting as if you've already achieved it means developing relentless follow-through, the kind of commitment that doesn't waver when life tests you. And life will test you. Every dream will come with a price. Every vision demands perseverance. Anyone can start. Starting is easy. Excitement gets people going. Inspiration lights the fire. But it's what you do after the inspiration fades that determines whether you become the person you're meant to be. When the excitement wears off, will you still show up? When your effort isn't producing immediate rewards, will you still keep moving? When you fail, will you try again? Stronger, wiser, more determined? That's the edge. That's the difference between wanting something and being committed to it. You see, acting as if you've already achieved it doesn't mean pretending that success is a straight line. It means carrying the mindset of someone who no longer negotiates with adversity. It's knowing that setbacks aren't signs to stop. They're invitations to grow. The person who has already succeeded, the version of you you're becoming, doesn't fold under pressure. They've been forged by it. They've learned how to turn pain into power, resistance into resilience. Most people quit because they confuse slow progress with failure. They want the breakthrough, but they're not willing to endure the breakdown that comes before it. They want to win, but they don't want to stay in the fight when it's lonely, uncomfortable, or uncertain. But if you're acting as if you've already made it, you must act like someone who keeps going no matter what, because that's how you earn the right to become that person. You've got to fall in love with consistency, not the outcome, but the process. Success isn't one giant leap. It's 1,000 daily decisions to keep showing up, even when it's boring, even when it's hard, even when no one is clapping for you. That's the quiet work. That's the grind no one sees. And that's what separates the ordinary from the exceptional. The people who achieve their dreams are not lucky. They are consistent. They are disciplined. They are committed to the long game. You can't wait for results to feel successful. You have to act successful now. You have to behave like someone who already believes the outcome is inevitable. Because when you truly believe it's coming, quitting isn't even an option. You don't need evidence. You become the evidence. You don't look for signs. You are the sign. That internal conviction is what fuels relentless follow-through. There will be moments when doubt tries to speak louder than your belief. That's normal. But belief isn't about always feeling certain. It's about choosing to move forward even when you're uncertain. It's deciding that your dream matters more than your fear, that your future matters more than your feelings, and that your purpose is bigger than any moment of frustration. When you live from that place, your follow-through becomes unshakable. And make no mistake, the world will reflect back what you repeatedly do. If you show up with discipline, with hunger, with drive, even when there's no reward in sight, you send a signal to yourself and to life. I'm serious about this. I'm not here to dabble. I'm here to dominate. That energy compounds, momentum builds, and one day the world starts to respond. Not because it finally believes in you, but because you believe first. Persistence also requires emotional mastery. If you let your emotions dictate your effort, you'll live in cycles. High one week, low the next. But when you master your emotions, you become consistent regardless of circumstance. You learn to ride the waves without drowning in them. You keep showing up because you've decided that quitting is not in your identity. That's power. That's maturity. That's what it means to lead yourself at the highest level. There's also this idea of delayed gratification. Acting as if you've already achieved it means learning to hold your vision even when the results aren't visible yet. It means trusting the process. It means planting seeds and having the patience and belief to water them every day, even when nothing seems to be growing. You don't dig up the roots because you're anxious. You stay faithful to the work. You give it everything you've got because you know that everything you're doing now is creating the reality you'll live in soon. And here's the truth. You're always closer than you think. Most people quit inches away from their breakthrough. They give up because they can't see the progress. But progress isn't always visible in the beginning. Sometimes it's internal. Sometimes it's in the habits you've strengthened, the confidence you've built, the discipline you've developed. Those things matter